Did you know that in the heart of Africa, there's a kingdom where flying higher than 492 feet is illegal for witches? A place where men are paid to take multiple wives. And every year, thousands of young women gather in the capital for the world's biggest wife selection festival. Welcome to Eswatini, a tiny kingdom packed with mysteries that will leave the world in awe. Today, we're uncovering 12 unbelievable facts about this fascinating land. Buckle up. This journey is about to blow your mind. Don't confuse it with Switzerland. Do you think Eswatini is part of Switzerland? Think again. In 2018, this African kingdom officially changed its name from Swaziland to Eswatini. Why? Because too many people kept confusing it with Switzerland. Imagine searching for Eswatini's massive reed dance festival and ending up with information about Swiss cheese. Now that's a plot twist nobody asked for. But hold on, don't let its small size fool you. Eswatini covers only 17,364 square kilometers, smaller than Taiwan and just about the size of New Jersey. But don't underestimate it. This tiny kingdom is one of Africa's best-kept secrets, home to massive safari parks, a king with dozens of wives, and some of the most unique cultural traditions on Earth. If Switzerland is known for watches, cheese, and banks, then Eswatini is all about wildlife, ancient traditions, and royal mysteries. And coming up next, you won't believe the mind-blowing event that happens here every year. Stay tuned. Flying witches and the 492-foot rule. Now here's a law that will make you do a double take. In Eswatini, it is strictly illegal for witches to fly above 492 feet, 150 meters. Yes, you heard that right, witches. But before you start picturing Hogwarts in Africa, let's break this down. This bizarre-sounding law isn't exactly about broomsticks and magic spells. Instead, it's believed to have originated as a modern regulation on drones and unauthorized small aircraft. That's right, if you violate this law, you could face a jaw-dropping fine of up to 500,000 emelangeni, that's about 30,000 US dollars. So unless you're flying a commercial jet at 33,000 feet, you'd better keep things low and legal. But wait, does that mean Eswatini actually believes in witches? Well, yes and no. Witchcraft has been part of Eswatini's cultural beliefs for centuries, and traditional healers, known as sangomas, are widely respected for their spiritual and medicinal practices. For many locals, magic isn't just a fairy tale, it's a way of life. Some Swazis even claim to have seen witches flying at night. Whether you believe it or not, this law adds to the mystique of this fascinating kingdom. And coming up next, wait until you hear about Eswatini's royal marriage traditions. This one will leave you speechless. The world's largest wife selection festival. What if I told you there's a festival where over 50,000 young women gather every year, not just to celebrate their culture, but to potentially become royalty? Welcome to Eswatini's Umhlanga Festival, also known as the Reed Dance, the largest wife selection ceremony on the planet. And at the center of it all, King Mswati III, one of the last absolute monarchs in the world. With over 15 wives and counting, this king follows a long-standing tradition, choosing a new wife from the festival's participants. But here's where things get even more interesting. Not everyone is here for the king. Many young women join simply to honor their heritage, celebrate womanhood, and, believe it or not, even find love elsewhere. Many young women join simply to honor their heritage, celebrate womanhood, and, believe it or not, even find love elsewhere. Now, before you start thinking this is some kind of royal dating show, let's set the record straight. No one is forced to marry anyone. The festival is about pride, tradition, and celebration. But let's be real. If you had the chance to become a queen, would you take it? And coming up next, Eswatini's ancient rain-making rituals. Can they really control the weather? You won't believe what happens next. Two capitals, two worlds. Here's something that might surprise you. Eswatini doesn't have just one, but two capitals. And trust me, they couldn't be more different. First up, there's Mbabane, the administrative capital where you'll find government offices, shopping malls, and buzzing nightlife. If Eswatini had a big city vibe, this would be it. But just an hour's drive away lies Lobamba, and stepping into this city feels like stepping back in time. This is Eswatini's cultural and legislative heart, home to the royal palace, the parliament, and the legendary Umhlanga festival, where thousands of young women dance in honor of the king. Think of it this way: Mbabane is where business happens, Lobamba is where traditions thrive. One is about the future, the other preserves the past, and yet both work together to define Eswatini's identity. A country with two capitals, two worlds, coexisting in perfect balance. Now that's something you don't see every day. And up next, Eswatini's royal family has a fascinating way of ruling the nation. Could you handle the pressure of absolute monarchy? Stick around to find out. Men are paid to marry multiple wives. In most countries, having multiple wives means emptying your bank account. But in Eswatini, it might just make you richer. That's because here, polygamy is not only legal, it's encouraged. And get this, men who marry more than one wife can actually receive financial support and even housing from the king himself. But hold on, it's not a free pass. If you want multiple wives, you have to prove your wealth. And in Eswatini, wealth isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in cows. On average, a groom needs 10 cows to marry. But if you've got your eyes on a chief's daughter, well, you'd better start expanding your herd, because that number can double or even triple. So, if you ever dreamed of a royal wedding and a house on the king's dime, just remember, love in Eswatini comes with a lot of mooing responsibilities. And coming up next, Eswatini's royal family has a fascinating way of choosing their leaders. Could you handle the pressure of absolute monarchy? Stick around to find out. Women without hair and strict dress codes. In many cultures, a shaved head is just a fashion choice, but in Eswatini, it's a powerful symbol of loss, respect, and renewal. When a woman's husband passes away, she must shave her head as a sign of mourning and respect. This act represents letting go of the past and embracing a new chapter in life. But widowhood isn't the only time when strict traditions shape a woman's appearance. In many rural areas, dress codes are deeply rooted in culture. And trust me, they're unlike anything you've seen before. Forget short skirts or tight jeans. In traditional Eswatini society, women are expected to wear long wraparound skirts called emahia, often paired with intricate beadwork and bold patterns that tell a story of heritage and identity. But here's where things take an unexpected turn. During the famous Umhlanga Reed Dance Festival, women abandon their modest clothing altogether and dance bare-chested in front of thousands. Sounds contradictory, right? But in Eswatini, this tradition isn't about exposure. It's about purity, strength, and honoring the kingdom's heritage. Young girls proudly perform in front of the king and the nation, embracing their cultural roots in one of the most celebrated festivals in Africa. From shaved heads symbolizing mourning to dress codes that blend modesty with bold cultural expression, Eswatini's traditions are as unique as they are deeply meaningful. And coming up next, Eswatini is one of the few places where being a witch comes with a flight restriction. Wait, what? Stick around to find out. The country with the lowest life expectancy. Eswatini is a land of breathtaking landscapes and rich traditions. But behind the beauty lies a heartbreaking reality. It has one of the lowest life expectancies in the world. Right now, the average Swazi can expect to live between 58 and 61 years, decades lower than many other countries. And the reason? It's not just one factor. It's a perfect storm of health crises, poverty, and limited healthcare access. The biggest challenge? HIV/AIDS. Eswatini has the highest HIV prevalence rate in the world, with nearly 27% of adults affected. That means 1 in 4 people is living with the virus. A nurse gently hands HIV medication to a patient, followed by a hopeful shot of a child receiving a vaccination. But it doesn't stop there. Malnutrition, poverty, and a shortage of healthcare facilities only add to the crisis. In remote villages, many people have to walk miles just to see a doctor. Yet, in the face of adversity, the resilience of the Swazi people is undeniable. Thanks to major health initiatives, HIV treatment is now more accessible than ever, and life expectancy is slowly improving. Eswatini is fighting back, with education, with medicine, and with hope. And if history has taught us anything, it's that this kingdom is stronger than its struggles. And coming up next, Eswatini has a law that limits how high witches can fly. Yes, you heard that right. Stay tuned to find out why. The We Are Loved Clinic. In a country where healthcare is often out of reach for many, a new symbol of hope and healing has emerged. And the best part? It opened its doors on Valentine's Day 2024. Welcome to the Eswatini Zwan Clinic, a place where medical treatment isn't just a service, it's an act of love. In a country battling high disease rates, poverty, and healthcare shortages, this clinic stands as a beacon of hope. It provides completely free medical care to those who need it most, ensuring that no one has to choose between their health and survival. But what truly makes this place special? It's not just the modern facilities or the life-saving treatments, it's the compassionate people who make it all possible. Because at the end of the day, healthcare isn't just about medicine, it's about dignity, love, and the belief that every life matters. And that's exactly what this clinic represents. And coming up next, Eswatini is home to one of the most mysterious laws on Earth. What if I told you that witches aren't allowed to fly higher than 492 feet? Stick around to find out why. Must-visit places in Eswatini. Think Eswatini is just a tiny dot on the map? Think again. This kingdom may be small, but it's packed with breathtaking landscapes, thrilling adventures, and a culture unlike any other. If you ever find yourself in Eswatini, these are the must-visit places you can't afford to miss. First up, Lane Royal National Park, the ultimate safari experience. This is where you'll find Africa's legendary Big Five: lions, leopards, elephants, rhinos, and buffaloes, all in their natural habitat. And here's the best part. Unlike the crowded safaris in bigger countries, Lane gives you a close, intimate experience with wildlife. Ever wanted to lock eyes with a lion in the wild? Well, here's your chance. Next, let's talk about Malalocha Nature Reserve, an absolute dream for hikers, adventurers, and nature lovers. Picture yourself trekking through lush valleys, rugged cliffs, and open grasslands, with nothing but untamed wilderness all around. And then there's this, Malalocha Falls, one of the highest waterfalls in the region. If you're chasing epic views and jaw-dropping landscapes, this place will leave you speechless. But Eswatini isn't just about landscapes. It's about heritage, traditions, and a way of life that has stood the test of time. And there's no better place to experience that than Mantenga Cultural Village. Step inside this living museum where you'll see how Swazi people lived centuries ago, from their handcrafted huts to their age-old traditions that are still honored today. And if you're lucky, you might even get the chance to join in the dance. But be warned, Swazi dancers don't hold back. So, whether you're here for wildlife, adventure, or culture, Eswatini has something that will steal your heart. And trust me, you won't leave the same person you came. And coming up next, Eswatini is one of the only places on Earth where men are paid to marry multiple wives. Wait, what? Stick around to hear this crazy tradition. Festivals that will leave you spellbound. If there's one thing Eswatini knows how to do, it's celebrate. This tiny kingdom is home to some of the most electrifying and culturally rich festivals on the planet. And trust me, once you experience them, you'll never see festivals the same way again. First up, the Bushfire Festival. Think of it as Eswatini's answer to Coachella, but with a unique African soul. For 3 days, thousands from around the world gather here to experience a mind-blowing fusion of music, dance, art, and social activism. From Afrobeat to jazz, reggae to electronic beats, whatever your vibe, Bushfire delivers. But it's not just about music. It's about spreading a message of unity, sustainability, and social change. And let's be real, where else can you party under the African stars with fire dancers lighting up the night? But if Bushfire is all about energy and celebration, the Ngwala ceremony is about power, spirituality, and the very soul of Eswatini. This ancient festival is no ordinary event. It marks the beginning of the harvest season and is considered the most sacred ritual in the kingdom. At its heart, the king himself. He performs a symbolic act, tasting the first fruits of the season to bless the land and his people. But Ngwala is not just a harvest festival. It's a test of strength, endurance, and royal power. Warriors travel great distances to gather sacred materials for the ceremony, while young men participate in intense traditional rituals to prove their loyalty to the king. It's not just a festival. It's a rite of passage, a connection to the ancestors, and a defining moment in the kingdom's spiritual calendar. 2 festivals, 2 completely different worlds, but both 100% unforgettable. So, which one would you rather experience? And coming up next, Eswatini isn't just about festivals. It's home to some of the most breathtaking destinations in Africa. Get ready to add these places to your travel bucket list. A Culinary Adventure. Food isn't just about eating. It's about tradition, connection, and a little bit of adventure. And trust me, Eswatini's cuisine is a journey in itself. So, if you're a foodie looking for something unique, rich, and straight from the heart of Africa, get ready, because this is a feast you won't forget. First up, Sishwala. This is Eswatini's comfort food, a thick corn porridge that's warm, hearty, and pairs perfectly with a rich, slow-cooked stew. It's the kind of meal that fills your stomach and your soul. Think of it as Eswatini's answer to mashed potatoes, but way thicker and way more satisfying. And then there's Sidvidvu, a delicious pumpkin-based dish that's both sweet and savory. It's smooth, creamy, and packed with nutrients, like a warm hug in every bite. Don't let its simple appearance fool you. 1 spoonful, and you'll be coming back for more. But no Swazi meal is complete without the ultimate showstopper, grilled meats, cooked over an open flame. Forget fancy marinades, this is barbecue in its purest form, seasoned simply but bursting with rich, smoky flavor. Crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and so good you'll be licking your fingers. Word of advice? Skip the fork. This is a hands-on experience. In Eswatini, food is more than just sustenance. It's about family, tradition, and the joy of sharing. Every dish tells a story. Every bite connects you to the heart of Swazi culture. So, what would you try first? And coming up next, Eswatini isn't just about flavors, it's about experiences. And one of them? A festival where thousands of women gather for a royal tradition unlike any other. Stay tuned. Living in Eswatini, affordable and enchanting. Ever dreamed of packing your bags and starting a new life in Africa? Living in Eswatini, affordable and enchanting. Welcome to Eswatini, one of the most affordable and enchanting places to live on the continent. That's right, in Eswatini, you can rent a comfortable one-bedroom apartment for as little as $150 a month. That's less than a weekend stay at a fancy hotel in most countries. And when it comes to groceries, you'll be pleasantly surprised. A week's worth of fresh produce, dairy, and meat can cost as little as $20 to $30, a fraction of what you'd spend in most Western countries. Need to get around? Public transport here is super budget-friendly. For just 50 cents to $1, you can hop on a local minibus and be on your way. And healthcare? Eswatini is working hard to improve its medical services, and many basic treatments and checkups are incredibly affordable. For expats, there are private clinics and hospitals that offer quality care at a fraction of the price you'd pay elsewhere. But beyond affordability, what makes Eswatini truly special is its way of life. Here, community is everything. Neighbors look out for each other, traditions are celebrated, and nature is always just a few steps away. Life here is about simplicity, connection, and culture. It's a place where you can wake up to breathtaking landscapes, enjoy rich traditions, and live comfortably on a modest budget. So the real question is, could you see yourself calling Eswatini home? Eswatini is more than just a kingdom. It's a story, a living, breathing tale of culture, resilience, and beauty. A place where the past and present dance in harmony, where nature and tradition create a rhythm unlike anywhere else in the world. From its breathtaking landscapes to its heartfelt traditions, this tiny nation holds a spirit far greater than its size. Whether you come for adventure, culture, or connection, one thing is certain: Eswatini will stay with you long after you leave. So what are you waiting for? The magic of Eswatini is calling. Pack your bags, open your heart, and step into a world like no other. Love this journey? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible adventures from around the world. And until next time, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and never stop discovering.